All right, good afternoon, everyone. At this time, we are going to call the Tourism Commission meeting to order for October 7th, 2025. We do have a quorum this afternoon for this discussion. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone could rise, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, great. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today for our discussion. We will be asking for approval of the Tourism Commission minutes from the June 17th, 2025 meeting.
Motion to approve?
I guess I'll give a second.
Very good, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? With no questions or comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And those against? No. That motion passes. Agenda items for consideration. Item 1, we will start with the financial report. Give me 1 second here, let me pull up my notes. All right, Julie, as always, has done a phenomenal job putting together our agenda and our financial statement for the commission and the community to review. I'm not going to go down each line item. I will hit some highlighted items. In the revenue summary, Julie does have 2 items that are highlighted, transfer from fund balance and then the carry forwards. Those are kind of normal activities with this budget. Many times our grant program from last year carries into this year. So those funds carry with those grants. That same type of activity will happen from 2025 to 2026. So when you look at revenues and revised, that's what that is. That's what's happening right there. General room tax revenues, we are right on line, right on track for our 2025 year. Also note in revenues, fireworks donations. Thank you to Horicon Bank for again sponsoring the West Bend fireworks for Independence Day. Excuse me. Moving down to expenditures. Again, everything is in order. The admin special purpose. Again, we budgeted $337,000. That's up to $427,000. Excuse me. Those notes again are at the bottom of this worksheet. Julie has everything laid out for the different events and things like that. Again, those are just funds that are moving from one calendar year to another to keep things balanced for the grant programs. So do we have do we have a motion to accept this afternoon's financial report?
So moved.
Seconded.
Do we have any questions or comments relating to this report? All right. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those against? And the motion passes. All right. Next agenda item are items for consideration. Next agenda item, tourism entities report. So thank you for everyone for attending again today, all of our different tourism partners. I think everyone asked if they should put together a formal presentation or PowerPoint and all that. And I just honestly said no, in the effort to save everyone some time and effort, things like that. I think there's a lot of really exciting happenings in West Bend literally right now. From West Bend's Farmers Market was just rated #1 in the state again, 4 years in a row. The museum, Frank Lloyd Wright, the exhibit kicked off on the 4th. Very awesome. You look into Ben's calendar, I literally looked this morning and it's just, their calendar of events is just ongoing and ongoing. I just got the email from the chamber again today. So many things happening in our community, thanks to our tourism partners. But if anyone does want to get up and provide any little highlights or quick reports, you can. That is certainly up to you. But again, it is not mandatory or anything like that. So this would be your opportunity if you need to or want to highlight anything. And everyone's staying seated. Perfect. Again, thank you all for what you do for our community, and actually even outside of our community. And if we look at zip codes and where people are coming in from, you all make a huge difference. So thank you for that. The third item on items for consideration is the 2026 room tax budget. This budget is in draft form yet at this point in time. It was provided to the city for review. Final review of all of our budgets will be November 10th at our common council meeting, November 10th. But again, annually, the Tourism Commission reviews this budget and provides a vote in reference to this budget. I will not go through every line item in the budget. I will hit some highlights as we go. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and that's from commissioners or from any of our guests. Achievements, we've had many different achievements for 2025. Some highlights, again, we continue to support our community at the Wisconsin State Fair. I think that's excellent to get outside of our border and reach out a little bit on a statewide basis. Also, an event we supported this year was a Classic Green event out at the fairgrounds. This year, we awarded a third new major event grant. And again, the many different promotional grants that we work with our different groups on an annual basis. I think those are important to success for many different organizations. Some of our goals for 2026: strengthen partnerships and invigorate goodwill with key stakeholder groups, including the BID, the Bend, the Downtown Association, the Chamber of Commerce, Visit Washington County, MOA, and our county communications. I think everyone's here today, and I would like to, we are planning and hoping to just strengthen what we've done in the last 12 months. Additional goals for 2026: continue with our Wisconsin State Fair partnership. And one new item, or new to this next budget, would be collaborate with travel influencers to increase reach and authenticity with Visit West Bend brand. Callie and her team have been working with the Chamber and some others on a branding program for West Bend and beyond West Bend. I will not go beyond that because I don't want to ruin the surprise. So as we continue through the budget, again, I'm not going to go line item by line item, but I will go to two items within the budget: special purpose and room tax payments. In the past, that was one budget line item. This year, we separated the two. The special purpose is specifically for grants and events and infrastructure items, and the room tax payments are specific to our partners that are here today. So it was just, we just felt it was a little cleaner and it made a little bit more sense if we just split, it was all together in one line item, split them into two line items. So just, it was a little cleaner. Event promotions grants and support for one of our partners in the same line item just didn't make a lot of sense with our just accounting basically. So that's, those items have just been separated a little bit. But generally speaking, the dollar amounts have not changed much. The funding's still in there for event promotion grants, July 4th. The Hotel Convention Center, that discussion item, we are looking at reviewing that at a commission level in the first quarter of next year. Our city administrator, Jesse, I'll put you on the spot. Jesse just asked that we just push it back a little bit, get past our annual budget cycle and things like that, and then we'll take a look at some of those discussion items. If you want, sure.
Spot on. I simply made the request as I'm on my learning curve, if we could just set that conversation aside for right now. I know it is very important to our community, and we need to chart a course of action forward with it. But to be honest, right now, I don't have the capacity to be an active participant in that conversation, and I want to make sure that I am. So yes, to Mike's point, we will look at picking that up, and it is part of the budget as part of the conversation we had, and we will chart a course forward. So I appreciate everybody's patience on that.
So, yeah, just to continue through special purpose, new major event grant funding is still in the budget. Tourism-friendly infrastructure is still in the budget. So again, like I noted, we had the one large line item in the budget, we just split them into two. Room tax payments, again, phenomenal partners, Downtown West Bend Association, Museum of Wisconsin Art, the Bend Historic Theater, West Bend Area Chamber of Commerce, and hopefully our new partner this year, Visit Washington County. Kirk Emmerich and I met with Kathy and Patty with Visit Washington County. I'll be honest, I was a little naive as to how far out their reach went. I literally thought they did the visitor's guide, and beyond that, I didn't have any understanding really what they did. We were pleasantly surprised and excited that we found out they also advertise or market in Our Wisconsin, the Brewer Yearbook, and even the Packer Yearbook, and the Key Milwaukee Magazine. So again, Visit Washington County, they're getting outside of Washington County. They're touching zip codes outside of West Bend, things like that. And Kirk really liked the fact that, again, when we're talking about marketing, people hear something once, they might not remember it, but when they hear something 5 or 6 times, that's when it starts to click and starts to stick with them. So we were very impressed with Kathy and Patty and their organization. And this year, that was one of the changes in the budget, which was just an additional $5,000 in support of Visit Washington County. Beyond that, the 2026 draft operating budget is before the commission. Before we open it up for questions, I guess we should probably get a motion on the topic.
I'll move to approve the budget as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you. Questions or comments from commission?
Yeah, just one question, and I think it's more of a point of clarification just as we look at the budget, just so that there's transparency. When you look at the room tax summary, so the revenue side of that, right, for 2025, we've budgeted 575. Actual through the mid part of the year is only 114. It's my understanding that each year there's a lag, almost by quarter, in terms of the realization of the revenue from the room tax. So when you look at these figures, while on a surface level, it looks like we should be halfway through the budget amount. We're actually only a quarter-ish way through the budget amount, and that will resolve itself or reconcile itself as we continue to move through time.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep. That funding and that recording everything's just, like you said, Matt, it's just delayed a little bit. That is correct. No, you look at the summary and it's like, hey, this budget's not balancing,
Right.
but it is. This is a typical process. Any other questions or?
This might sound like a silly question. Maybe just elaborate. I see a section for health insurance.
Yes.
What is the health insurance related to the?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, with any of our budgets, it could be, right now, we're talking about the room tax budget. The first line item is actually the clerk's office and finance, and then it goes to fringe and telephone, health insurance, things like that. So, staff members in the clerk's office and staff members in the finance department actually support this commission and this budget. So, some of their time is paid for out of this budget to help facilitate those positions. Excuse me, some of those positions, they might work on 8 or 9 different budgets. So 8 or 9 different budgets need to reflect their time, their effort, things like that, to make things balance. So we wouldn't want to put one full-time position in this budget because it doesn't warrant it. So something like that it kind of muddies the accounting at times because it's like, okay, someone's literally getting paid, a position's being paid for by 4 or 5 different budgets, but that position supports 4 or 5 different departments' budgets and what's happening. So in our world, that's very typical.
Yeah, it's simply just an allocation of time based on a percentage that's applied. And you'll find that as you go through the budget here in the next month, Brett, you're gonna find that across all of our various departments, that there are allocations for time and expenses.
Thanks.
Oh, good question. Any other questions or comments? Okay, very good. We have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor of the 2026 draft room tax budget?
Aye.
Aye.
All those against? And the motion passes. All right, fourth item for consideration is a 2026 event promotion grants, discussion on timeline and criteria. So 4 and 5, items number 4 and 5 really kind of go together. One thing we wanted to do for the commission and our partners was to get our calendar out for next year. We wanted to do it now and not a month before each meeting and all that stuff. So the event grant programs are all on within our budget or within our calendar, things like that, deadlines and things like that. The next grant process will start, so this would be for the 2026 Spring Summer Grant Program. Applications, the grant applications open November 11th of this calendar year, and the deadline is December 16th. Jacob and Callie will be sending something out to our partners, when we get closer to that date, and we would review those grants at the January 13th meeting. Also part of today's discussion, in reference to the grants, we would ask the commissioners or anyone else if they would have any input on any of our grants. Do we continue with what we are doing? They seem to be very successful, or is anyone suggesting any changes? Myself and Callie and Jacob and others have talked, the major grant program for $20,000. We think it's an important grant program. Our one question would be, instead of providing a new program, a $20,000 commitment, would we want to do something over 3 years? So our example is, an organization comes in, we award them a grant for $20,000. They run their program once and they never do it again. That $20,000 investment has come and gone. Or do we do it, in some state grants are like this, GEM grants and things like that, where we could do $15,000 one year, $5,000 the next year, maybe $2,500 the third year. Stretch it over a 3-year time period. We can leave it as it is, or do we want to stretch it out a little bit over a 3-year time period? And we do not have to decide this today, but with the grant, our next spring, summer grant application time period starting, next year's about to start for us, we just wanted to bring that forward to everyone. So, again, I think like the spring, summer grant program, right now we have $15,000 budgeted for it. It's been very successful. It supports a lot of awesome events and programs that bring in people into our community that do support our tourism. The fall, winter grants are pretty much the same as our spring, summer. Again, very successful. And our suggestion with the major grant program, we're not saying it because it hasn't been successful. It's one of those concerns with a group that might come in from the outside that we are not familiar with. They run one event ever and they're done and things like that. So we're just a discussion item.
No, I think it's a valid point, Mike. In thinking of some past major events, it was, okay, we got through year one, now what do we do? And it's applying for whether it's a spring or fall grant through the normal seasonal grant program as opposed to a continuation. And I think again, to your point, I don't think the decision is reached today because I want to give that one a little bit of thought. But the idea of, if it's going to be a major event, the intent of having a new major event is for it to become a longstanding event in the city of West Bend. And a better way to support that is seed money up front, but then also making sure that they do have funds available in years 2 and 3 to continue to grow their event, because we all know that with one event, that's great, we get through year one, and now we've got to kind of learn from it, grow from it, but then really grow the event, and that takes continued investment. So I think that it's a valid point and something that we should consider and discuss as a council, but I think part of it is thinking through what that might look like. I think part of that too is going to be looking at the budget and then determining how we scale that year over year. Because you'll end up in a situation where you'll have potentially at any given point in time, 3 different organizations that are receiving some level of funding, which may, I'm gonna suggest, be higher than our annual $20,000 grant. It might be 25, it might be 30 to support those major events. And we may run into situations where they accept the grant, and in year 2, they decide not to do the event, or year 3, they decide not to do the event, and that can come back into that budget bucket. But again, something I think is valid for our consideration.
Yeah, and, I mean, great points, and again, we are not suggesting that like something's broken. That's not our point at all. It's just, do we want to look at it instead of just a lump sum payment, one time, that 3-year long-term commitment? I know our last grant cycle, there was an application out there that had all kinds of wish list items and things like that, and those are the programs, and it's up to our responsibility to say yay or nay also to the applicants, but it's just something we as a staff, we were talking about kicking around. We just wanted to bring it forward to everyone. And again, like I said, we're not suggesting something's broken, just something to discuss and think about, so.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that might also present the opportunity to do sort of a graduated fund dispersal. Instead of going for the lump sum in the first year, establish something that could then request for more, because it could become either bigger, more elaborate, and move towards an eventual goals. So it also might not deter folks who like, well, geez, I really want to do something, but can I deliver on this brand new thing the level of funds I'm asking for,
Right. No, and Alderman Sturding's right, where, budget-wise, if we change the major grant program, we might have 3 grants then on our books that would exceed that $20,000 mark. We would need to be mindful of that, keep things balanced. And at the same time, as you had mentioned, you get the major grant for 1 year, now you want to continue your event. Now you're going to go and apply for, let's say, a spring-summer grant, and now you're competing against already existing funds. So if we can support that one event for 3 years without impacting the 2 other grant programs. So again, a discussion item, something that our partners can take a look at, let us know, or the commission. So something we just wanted to bring forward, so. All right, the last items for consideration, the 2026 calendar. I suppose we should get a motion and an approval on this. Could we get a motion on this item?
I'll move to approve the calendar.
Yeah, I'll second.
Any questions, comments? We looked at previous year's dates, we looked at meeting dates, we looked at grant dates, things like that. Actually, I put a calendar through 2027 to make sure we weren't missing anything. So just seeing the fit. And again, like I said earlier, we just wanted to get the calendar out to everyone so we can get it on calendars and things like that, because our lives are busy, so.
And presumably these be meeting at the usual noon time?
Yep, it'd be 12 o'clock in this room, so. All right, with no other questions or comments, can I get all those in favor, rather?
Aye.
Aye. And against? And that passes. Very good. We are down to staff reports. Jacob, you want to start?
Sure. We've got some kind of wrapping up the event season a little bit here. I think as we mentioned a little bit earlier, the Downtown Association and the Farmers Market was named #1 in Wisconsin for the 4th year in a row. This year we also got our highest ever national finish at 10th So we'll look to build on that for next year. Um, we are working on creating some new content for promotion through our Visit West Bend channels. Callie's been working on some kind of street interview style. We kind of debuted that format for the farmers market last week, and we've got some others shot already and looking to shoot some more this week and in the coming weeks to get more of a local perspective on why people should visit West Bend. And then Jonah and I are working on a photo shoot this week, Saturday. We're trying to get some pictures of the fall colors around town again to continue building our library of assets.
Very good. Callie?
Yeah, nothing too much more to add. Just I'm getting my feet under me, and so I feel like we're at this point clicking as a team and brainstorming new ideas for the future.
Great, thank you. Couple quick items from me. I've been on the commission now several months, and I must say, I've really enjoyed meeting and spending some time with our community partners, getting to know people and organizations a little more. I've been in the West Bend area many, many years, and it was amazing and how much I did not know about our community. So again, I'd like to start with thanking our commissioners for supporting our future in West Bend, our room tax, our tourism commission. I think we got some really exciting discussion items for next year, infrastructure, hotel, convention center, things like that. Some major discussion items, and I really look forward to those. Huge thank you to our communications staff. I think they do just a phenomenal job supporting West Bend and everything that's going on. And our partners, without our partners, our community would be gray and drab and a place people would not want to be. And it's an awesome community. And I often say at Common Council, when I'm delivering the donations to our Common Council, West Bend's an awesome community to live, work, and enjoy life. So, thank you, everyone. And if there's nothing else from the commissioners, we adjourn the meeting. Thank you.